Welcome back on another video, and in this video we talk about something quite important. We're gonna help you go from chasing things into attracting things, into becoming a magnet. And in order to do that, I'm gonna give you a little exercise with 5 simple steps that will not only show you what is your biggest blind spot, what is it that you have been chasing perhaps for so many years in your life, and it will help you see the pattern and then help you reverse the pattern so that you can start embodying that quality and start attracting, start becoming a magnet instead of being needy, instead of chasing, instead of lurking and trying to get things. You will start attracting those things in your life. And so it is quite a powerful shift in consciousness. So let's go straight into this, guys. Before we go into it, thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoy this type of content, guys, make sure you take a second to hit that subscribe button and help me grow this channel. It helps a lot. Okay, now here is the first thing I really need you to understand, and this is the number one ego trap, the number one game that your ego is playing with you, and it's what keeps so many of us on an endless hamster wheel, always chasing the next thing, always chasing the next desire, always chasing the next goal. And so behind that endless chasing, we have to understand that the mind is always projecting on people, on things, on the external world, those qualities, those things that we perceive lacking or missing between ourselves. And so because we really want those qualities, we are projecting them on people, we are projecting them on things, on success, on all those perceived concepts and things around us. And that's what makes us chase. Because then the mind goes, well, if I get that thing, or if I get that boyfriend, or that girlfriend, or that money, or that watch, or that car, or that designer bag, or the promotion, then I'll have this quality, then I'll have all those things that I've projected and given to that thing, and then I'll be happy. And then everything's gonna be fine. But we know through experience, if you just stop and think for a moment, you know that the moment you get something, you experience it, you like it, you enjoy it, maybe you're even grateful for it. And after a very short amount of time, your mind is already on what's next. What's the next thing I need to really make my life okay and be happy and sort it out once and for all. And we know that it's just an ever-ending race. And so we gotta understand, what is it that we are actually chasing? What's my blind spot? What is the thing that I'm lacking between myself? That if I can actually start to give to myself, I will no longer feel needy. I will no longer project that lack. I will no longer be in that state of consciousness, but instead I can start attracting it. And you see, if I ask you, what is it that you really want? The reason why we want what we want, the reason we have desires and things, it's almost always because of how it will make us feel. Yeah, money might make me feel free, might make me feel secure, might make me feel important, significant, worthy. You know, a person, our relationship might make me feel loved, might make me feel important, might make me feel needed or joyous or at peace. So we are always wanting what we want, the things that we want, the goals, the desires that we have, in order to feel a certain way. And this is so important to understand, because people underestimate that. And so when you yourself are lacking some of those qualities, some of those emotions, some of those things, you will project them outside of you, and you will start chasing them, seeking them out, because your mind is always projecting those qualities that are missing between yourself, that you have not mastered between yourself yet, externally, and you will see them, you will seek them as desire or as things that you want to acquire in order to subconsciously get those qualities in as well. But that's not how it works, because in the projection it creates that state of lack. See, the moment you realize that you are missing something, and that that person or that watch or that promotion or that new job will give you that one thing that you desire the most, then like right now, your mind starts to perceive lack. It starts to perceive that something is missing. And then we start to feel unhappy, we start to feel eager, we start to feel impatient, we start to feel anxious, we start to feel needy and desperate and obsessive, and we try to figure out and force it. It creates all those thoughts and behaviors. that makes us not enjoy who and where we are now. But we have to understand that this state is a state of resistance. It is not the way you attract things, not the way you let things flow naturally and easily to you, because when you're in that state of resistance, when there is no alignment in your energetical state, you start to repel things. You start to make it harder for things to come into your life, which only feeds more of the obsession, the despair, the worry, the anxiety. So this brings me into the exercise that I want you guys to do. And you really need to do that exercise because it can really help you see one of the biggest blind spots that you may have behind all the goals, all the desires, all the things that you want to create and have in your life. And if you can nail that, and if you can reverse that and use that exercise I'm about to give you, you will go from being needy, from being chasing, into attracting, into being that magnet, being in alignment, being in resonance with it, and start to letting those things, those experiences, the things and tools and things that are needed for you to achieve, to create, to bring that into your life. Once you become it, it will start to naturally flow in your life. And so here is the exercise. The first thing I want you to do is take a piece of paper, right? And write down what are your main goals? What are the things that you're trying to create, manifest, achieve in your life right now? Maybe until the end of the year or beyond, up to you. But make sure you write down at least 10 pretty significant goal or desire that you have, things you want to create. So you can pause this video, you can take some time and just write it down on paper. And it's important that you write it down. Okay, if you've done that one part, great. Now we're going to go into the second part and answer a very important question. And that question is this: next to every single one of those goals that you write down, I want you to answer this question. What would that do for me? If I had it, if I created it, if it's done, what would that do for me? How would it make me feel? And write down that one or two feeling words that comes up and repeat for every single goal on your list. Pause now and do it now. Great. Now, the third step is actually very simple. I want you to go through the list and I want you to circle which is the main one or the top two that are the most repetitive quality, the most repetitive feelings that keep coming back throughout all your lists. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, now it's time for step 4. And step 4 is really reflection. And you really gotta grasp this. Those number 1 or 2 words that you've circled the most is the quality, is the essence that you have been chasing the most. And in my experience, in my personal life and working with a lot of people, often people have been chasing that quality for a long time, meaning years, decades sometimes. So I want you to pause now and to reflect in your life, to notice how have you been chasing that quality, that essence in your past relationship, in your day-to-day life, in your behaviors, in your action, in your personality, in your identity, in the things you do, the things you don't do, the decisions that you made. And how has this been affecting your life? I'm going to give you an example. When I did that exercise the first time, the main number 1 thing that kept coming back was to feel worthy. To feel worthy. And so when I paused and I looked back, I started to realize how many things I've been chasing in my life, the endless goal for success, for money, for significance, for followers, for growing, for being seen as smart and talented, for getting approval. All those things I've been doing were all in effort to make myself feel worthy. But no matter the amount of success, no matter the amount of achievement, no matter the things I might have done, the wins and the things, it was never enough. And so the pattern kept on going until I realized that is the one thing I've been giving to myself the least. And so the step number 5 is to realize that you gotta switch that around. The quality that you've been chasing the most is the quality, the essence that you need to embody the most. So when I started making myself feel worthy, when I started working on my self-worth and my self-image, when I started removing the thoughts, the feeling, the old memories and emotion of the past that were making me feel unworthy, that were making me chase external validation and being a people pleaser and avoiding confrontation, always doing the right things and avoiding mistakes and all this stuff. When I started to get rid of all of that and really feel worthy for no reason now, whether I get that thing or not, whether I'm successful or not, whether I make my money goal or not, when I can feel worthy now, is when the click happened, is when really shit started to fall into place. And it wasn't like me forcing it and me chasing it and me always thinking about it and feeling like I need to work harder, I need to figure out the strategy and all those things. It actually came quite simply. It just started flowing into my life. Opportunity, synchronicity, magic. And yes, it took action. Yes, it took decision. Yes, it took alignment. But it started flowing into my life. The moment I made that shift, everything shifted for me. And when you make that shift in your life, you will go from chasing, from being needy, to actually getting those things, from becoming magnetic. Because how do you become magnetic in your life? Is when you embody the qualities, because who you are is what you get. The universe doesn't give a fuck about what you want. It only cares about how you see yourself. It only cares about what you hold in your state of consciousness in that container. So the last step really is to start every day giving yourself that. And once you embody that, I guarantee you, you will see the difference. You will see the mirror reflecting something new to you. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment. As always, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, help me grow this channel, and make sure you see the other video. I will see you next time, guys. Be well.